All right. Hello, everyone. This is John Garcia with David Lemon today.
Hey
The
guys.
amazing Donna Fox is not going to be with us tonight. She is just a little bit busy and she's doing something with family. So, as we say here in the company, family comes first. So, she is going to take a break from us today and she's going to be enjoying some time there in beautiful Vegas. All right. How's everything, David?
Yeah, good, good. I'm looking forward to the training today.
Awesome, great. And let me just take a look. Couple of things here. Make sure that you guys are seeing my screen. If we can get a confirmation from our audience today, if we are looking at the screen, will be perfect. And David, are we seeing the screen normally?
Yes, yeah. I just checked on Facebook. It is going live.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for today, we are at day 7. Today, we're going to be talking about other functions for the Groovekart. And of course, we're going to just show a couple of screenshots, a couple of things that you're going to be seeing. And of course, what are we going to be doing today? So we're going to a couple of announcements. As David Lemon announced today in the group, there's not going to be a couple of things in support for the 4th of July celebration. Yes, we're going to have some people, some staff working there, but not at 100% capacity. Some of us are going to take a little break. So please be patient on that, and we do appreciate all the questions, anything that you guys need. But we will take a little bit of a break for this weekend. Another thing uh, out there right now is a link for the votes for the essay. I know somewhere around 40, 50 people already voted. So, David, I'm going to give you a link in via Skype. So, if you can publish this link in the Facebook Live right now, I'll appreciate it because this will actually show you guys where you can vote for your favorite essay. That's going to be the winner for the next session. So that person is going to get the option to participate with me and Donna, or to say Donna and I, to actually work on their store and pretty much do what we did with Donna this first time. So uh, let me just share the link with David, and David will be able to, if you can be so kind and put it in our live stream right now. So don't forget to go in there and vote for the best essay, for what you consider will be the best essay, and so just read them, take a look at them, and let us know. The We're gonna be selecting the winner next week, and also next week we're gonna have further instructions for the ones that are participating in the second part of the challenge, which is the submission for their sites. We're giving this week the chance for everybody to finish up their stores, make sure that they just complete the process and add a couple of things that we're going to be talking about today. And of course, get their stores registered for the prices. All right, so for today, there's not going to be a lot of updates or announcements. So we're going to just go right in with what we're talking today. We're going to be talking about Google Analytics, the pixels, which should be the Facebook pixel, staff accounts, the spin wheel, which is a function that since last week we have received a lot of questions about how do I really configure that. So I mentioned that some of the stuff that we're going to be covering that we covered last week are going to be covered this week. So this is it. So we're going to be talking also about the GDPR and Facebook and Google product feeds. Those last two, the product feeds are very important because that's how you display your products out to the world. And we're going to be talking about analytics as well, which I believe is one of the most important parts. So let me just make sure that we can share this properly. David, do we have any questions yet? Oh, we have a couple of. Okay, now I can see it. Sorry, guys. It's just my screen looked different for some reason. I did an update and I didn't know what it was. How strange. Hello, Christine. How are you? Also, I have Ellie. I have David, Shame. Uh, great to have great to have you guys. It's always a pleasure being here with all of you. So we're gonna continue and we're gonna keep moving forward. Also today, don't forget, we're gonna do a long session of Q&A, and we're gonna again present the voting link so you can do your vote for the best essay. Now, moving along, let me just show you here in the presentation the other functions. So, what are all those other functions that we're talking about? It is every single app that we have within Groovekart that will allow you to complement the functionality from your Groovekart and help you to do sales. We have the scarcity tools, we have the tracking tools like analytics, we do have also tax tools. So we're going to talk about a little bit of those in a moment, but as always, I have a couple of screenshots so you can actually just see what we're talking about today. And of course, we're going to go more in detail once we go into the hands-on training. As always, we're going to be using, of course, Donna Fox's store. So we continue with that. And since I know she's going to take a look at this recording, so we're going to make sure that she keeps up with the class. So other functions, we have the apps we're going to talk about for a long time, I hope, because I want you guys to ask me a lot of questions about Google Analytics, only for two reasons. One, Google Analytics or any other analytics programs that you can use to measure your visitors should be the only reason that you use in order to make advertising and marketing decisions. Don't go by your gut instinct. Don't go by, oh, a friend told me. Don't go by, oh, I believe I could do this. Go by actual data. So we're going to connect Google Analytics and we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to talk about staff accounts. What are staff accounts? Staff accounts are your help. You have the ability within Groovekart to create separate staff accounts for somebody to help you, and each account can be can have, I'm sorry, certain what do you call it, accessibility options. So we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to be talking about Facebook and Google product feeds. That's important because we have the ability within Groovekart to share the products in our Facebook pages and also within Google Merchant or Google Marketplace. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to go to Q&A. So let's just go into the live right now. So give me just 1 second while I move to the store. donnafox.com. Give me just 1 second here. Let me just go back in the presentation. In the meantime, if you guys want to write down or maybe save that link. David, do you mind putting the link in the chat if you don't mind, or did you do it already? While I accommodate here the store so we
Yes,
can
sure.
go in there.
So, guys, you can find this link for voting for the next person that will show their store live, and that we will be working on their store. So this is the challenge. This is the link that I shared. So we are going to be choosing the person according to an essay. So we asked everybody that wanted to participate to write an essay, and according to this, there is a challenge now. Basically, there is a voting. The person that gets the most votes on there will be featured in our next Groovekart challenge. So this is the link I shared out on YouTube and Facebook. You can go out there and vote it, and then you will be able to choose exactly whose store you're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks.
Perfect, David. Thank you very much.
No
All
worries.
right, now let me bring the store here to my main screen. And we're gonna get started in just a moment. So we're gonna make sure that everybody can see very ample, but very big here. The store in here, and let me move my presentation to the front. Make it a little bit smaller so I can probably just go back and forth. Awesome. So let me just go back here for a second. So we're gonna be talking about the other functions. So let me just here. We do have these functions within our app. So as we all know, this is the actual dashboard of our Groovekart. So these are the functions that we're going to be talking today. They're right here in the app manager. There were before actually just apps. Now we have a couple of more apps down here, but the app manager will give you all the extra apps that we have within the Groovekart in order to provide that extra functionality. And well, that opens. Thank you so much, the Facebook user, because the I just reading the comments and says we you guys deserve a break. Uh, Shane Stein says, does anyone know if there's any notes, summaries, action steps for the previous webinars? Shane, we do have all the recordings in the Groove Digital Academy. So we will definitely be able to share that with you, and so you can take a look at the recordings. And we did within each recording, within every episode of the webinars, we do have the slides. Maybe I have to update the last two or three, but you will have kind of the steps by steps and the slides that we shared every week within the actual lives. So we have a couple of tools here, but I want to focus today on the promotion aspect. We're not going to talk about the migration tool because that is if you own a Shopify store, you want to bring it in. But I'm just going to make sure that we talk about capture emails, giving discounts, and all the extra apps that we can use to increase our conversions. And one of the most important ones, I believe, is actually the spinning wheel. And I think we saw it last week very briefly because we activated with within the store for Donna, but we're gonna do it now more detailed today. So we're gonna configure this, and mind you, this is already configured within, as I mentioned, within Donna's store. But we're gonna make sure that we can go into it and make sure that every single setting is addressed. So as you can see, everything that is in green, and by this time, all of you guys that actually been working with your stores, you will see that you have these dials. These dial buttons, if they're in red, that means is deactivated. If they're in green, is active. So, and we tell the actual app what to do. So in the general settings, here, for example, is the pull-out tab, allow the email check on the cart, and let's just see if everything is active. So we're gonna go to Donna Fox Art. Oh, actually, let me just do donnafoxart.com. It will load the same site, but it will also show me that the spin wheel is actually active. So I might probably have to clear my cookies because I've been here before. So let's see if it's only showing for one visitor or all of them. Let me see. Show one visit per, hide after 60 seconds, who to show all visitors, when to display immediately. So it should be popping up any second. Now, in the look and feel, this is one of the coolest part. You can actually just see different colors and the different settings that you have for your spin wheel. And how do we change that? Right here on the theme. So you can select, depending on the colors of your store, you can select whatever theme actually is best for you. And I do believe that you can actually change some settings within the actual theme. So we're gonna just do that in a second. But just for the sake of argument, let's just change this one right here, red. Actually, we had this one before. Let's use the yellow, which doesn't have a lot of yellows, but so the wheel design, you can actually change it as well. You can change it for a more festive look if you may, and then select the color. So we're gonna just do the design number 2, and then the wheel color, you can select it as well. So you can just change the color. The wheel background color, you can also change it. Let's say we want something more darker, and the wheel font color. The text, you can pretty much customize everything, and you can have your own logo. So if you display your image, you can just upload a small logo. Again, only PNGs or JPEGs files are accepted, and I believe the measure is 250 pixels by 250. So it should be a square. Now let's just save this information since we want to make sure that we show the new settings on the spin wheel. So let's take a look if that happens. And by the way, if you're at home, which I bet you are, and we are also just logging in toward our computers, so take a look at donnafoxart.com and see if you are able to take a look at the spin wheel popping up in your computers. Now we did the look and feel. Now we can also text and change the text in the title text, special bonus information. You have a chance to win. Be ready. Are you ready? So we can actually customize anything about the spin wheel in these tabs. Now, this is the part where a lot of people ask the question. We received several people telling us, hey, but how do I make sure that I decrease or increase the odds of somebody making, of course, the discount or getting some sort of discount? As you can see here, you have the 12 options, the 12 slides of the spin wheel. So in the first one, it says 10% off, no lucky today, 50% off, oops, sorry, 20% off. So this one so far, out of the 12, you have, or the visitor has one, two, three, four, five, 6 options of making a discount. Either 10% off, 15% off, 20%, 25, 30, or 35. And last week somebody said, hey, how do I make sure that, let's say I only give the chance? How do I control the odds? This is random, but you can also control the aspect of how many prices you're actually given. So let's say I don't want to give this 10% off. So you just click edit, and in the slide one, oh, it's actually reading. It's going to take a little while to upload. Perfect. You see the coupon, the percentage, 10% off, and coupon value. And if you mark it as a winner slice, that's how you control the actual odds. So you want to have this the winner slice, you can make this as the winner slice. If I don't, no worries. I can control that. And then you see maybe you want to do free shipping, or maybe you want to do a fixed price, the $10, since it's not 10% off, but $10 off. So you have the ability to control all the settings. And again, make it as a winner slice. You can activate it and save it. And of course, that will be part of the winner slices. And that's how you actually control that. And I hope that this longer explanation, I don't remember the name of the person that asked it, but I know that if he's going to check the recording or if he is here today, then he'll realize how to make sure that we manipulate correctly the spin wheel. So you can do that with any of the actual 12 slices. And of course, for the email marketing, that's how you connect those results or that those interactions with your store. You can use Klaviyo, you can use Sendinblue, or you can you can enable Mailchimp. If you enable Mailchimp, you just need your API key and select what list you want in your Mailchimp account to set that up. I do believe we did that in day 4. We talk about the connection for Mailchimp. But if not, there's a couple of videos that I have done in the past in regards to the connecting the actual account in Mailchimp. And of course, the stats, it will show you what and who, what person and who actually has win on the spin wheel rather than the statistics, and if the coupon has been used or not, what dates, what times, the customer email, and of course, where they're from. So you have here that the ability to, if you have it active, you can see who actually did that. This was also a big question last time. How do I know who did it if I haven't really installed either MailChimp or SendMail or anything like that? So this is where you actually get those emails. You get them right here in your stats. You will get the full list of people that join in. Now, has anybody just checked Donna's store and did the actual spinning wheel come in?
Yeah, I checked it. It is coming up very nicely.
Okay, awesome, perfect. Yeah, because I have it, but I believe that I have my cookies all in this order, so I didn't want to bother reloading everything and having to deal with my cookies. But thanks, David. Thanks for that. And so, guys, this is one of them. This is one of the options that you have to actually control the ability to gather emails for your marketing, for your marketing opportunities. And let's just talk a little bit more of the social proof pop-ups. The social proof is actually a little announcement that comes in every product in the corners usually. Let me just see if by activating, and I'm going to one of the products and see if they will come up with any social proof right now. And give me just 1 second while it loads. Let me just go back and configure it. So you'll be able to see what exactly the social proof is. It's just telling you, hey, somebody else is taking a look at this product. You should actually get it. Or, hey, I just purchased this product. And that is actually active. So give me just 1 second. And my internet is not really helping me today. Let me just try to let it run for a second and see why it's not activating this here. Let's just try it again. Social proof pop-ups configure. And let me see why it's, yeah, my page is taking a little longer to open. So I might need a couple of seconds here. Okay, let me go back to this one because not even Donna's story is loading correctly. Let me just see if I can check something in my other screen. But while that opens, David, can you do me a favor? Can you take a look to see if Donna's story is loading normal on your end? Maybe it could be my end. Okay, now it loaded, but I don't see the actual spin wheel.
It is loading normally. You just need to open it in an incognito window, and then it will be loading in fine.
Let me just try that. Let me just see if I can do that. I forgot to do that. Uh, uh, and thank you for that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow that advice because it will probably just load a little bit. And you can tell that it's probably my connection. The past couple of weeks has been really. You see now is loading normally. It's probably my cookies, definitely, or something else. Let me just move this out of the way. And let's just work with this one right here. As you can see, all the changes that I just did for the colors on the actual store are taking over. And let me take a look and go back. So I don't want to try my luck today. And this is what I was talking about. So this is the social proof. So this product was just purchased. You see, Galaxy Girl 179. When you're a visitor and you have anywhere on the site and you get this kind of deal, hey, wait a minute, this was you sold? That's great. Let me take a look what it is. So it will take you to the product, and that's pretty much it. Fear of missing out. When you have your products, if you have this active, let's say you have a group of visitors that might be having an interest of certain product. If you have this active, then people will definitely go take a look at it. And it's been widely used by a lot of the other platforms. Mostly our competitors use it because it's very effective. So that's how you actually just set it up. Now let me just sign in. And David, thanks. You just made me realize something, that cookies sometimes interfere a lot with the software. At least in my case, since I'm logged into 300 different stores on a daily basis. Uh, but let me just log in here to the store again to for the administration part. And ninja tip of the day, as I always do, you can log in with your domain name if you have one, or my.groovekart.com. But always try to do it from your domain / administration, and then of course you can have all the information there and work on a couple of things that I'm going to show you so you're working correctly on that. Let me just see. Uh, Give me just one moment here. And the password will be right here. Now we're taking a look and you see that's still here, but it's now showing a different product. Now it's showing the Galaxy t-shirt. So we're back here. We're back to the apps and let me close this one. And can everybody see my screen okay? I'm just afraid that I'm not showing it in the right way. I almost closed StreamYard. This is funny. Okay, perfect. All right, finally got these to be working normally. Now let me just go back to the app manager so we can keep showing you all the rest of the apps. And so let me take a look here. Yes, Francis, we are live. Sorry, maybe we are having a little bit of delay. Remember, guys, usually this kind of live events they get a little bit of delay. So, but we are live right now, and I believe everybody can hear me okay. And yes, if you have questions, don't worry. We will make sure that the Q and A. And as always, around 6:35, 6:40, we do a small little parenthesis between everything, and we can address the actual questions. And you know what? Just to help out my connection, I'm gonna kill my camera. I believe that will also help my system. Uh, and perfect. David, how do I get? Thank you. Awesome. All right, so now we have a full screen, and I hope that things are gonna load a little bit faster in my end. Now we talk about the social proof pop-up, the spin wheel, and of course now we talk about the product reviews. Product reviews are actually also very important because those are actually at the product level, and you want to have them activated so your customers can leave good reviews for you, and you can monitor those reviews as well. So let me just go into the configuration, general settings, reminder settings, and product reviews. So that's actually, since we don't have any products with active reviews, then we don't really have any reviews open, of course. But I'll show you guys where in the products we can actually activate this as well. You can actually have your privacy policy, and if you have any URL that you create within your Groovekart with the pages, you can point them to that direction. And of course, if you want to give a discount for a review, you can do so by activating this and the discount for the review. Some people will say, and I'm going to touch a quick base on this. Some people say, but hey, you're offering people a discount for a review. Yes. Why? Because we want to make sure that people experience our services and our products the best way. So, what if the review is bad? Well, in every single negative, you can convert it into a positive. Even though you give a discount to a customer that might have left a bad review, interact, talk to your customer. Let's say, hey, I didn't like the product. Hey, I didn't do this. Hey, something happened. That will give you the ability to start connecting to your customers and making sure that they're happy. So, but still, there's a lot of people that say that that's still a gray area that we shouldn't be paying for reviews. Now, again, that's actually in certain products. So let me just show you where do you connect reviews. So we're gonna go back to our products. I'm gonna open this in a separate window here so we can take a look at it, and of course show you guys where are the reviews or how are they set up, because they are at the product level. So I'm just going to make sure that I give you the complete picture for those who have been here for the first time, or for those that have actually been followers for the past 7 weeks. No, actually 6 weeks. So right now we have the products, and it's also a little reminder how to edit a product. You just go and click on the pencil, and the product will pretty much display all the features. And where you actually change the description, I'm sorry, where you actually change the reviews or you can verify the review is at the settings. And then you go here into the product, I'm sorry, into the reviews, not the settings, but into the product reviews. So you're going to take a look at that information at the product level. Remember, everything for the reviews will be at the product level. This is the Beach Lady product. These are the steps when you create the product. Step number 4 is review. So you can see, you can write a new review, refuse the review, or make sure that you have a list of any pending reviews or active reviews. So if you have anything active, they will show here, or there's anything pending, or if you have refused any reviews, or if you want to write yourself a new review, so you can actually write it here for that specific product. In this case is Beach Lady. So we know now that for the reviews, when we actually activate the app, will be on the product reviews at the product level. Don't forget that, because a lot of people get confused that, oh, where do I activate this? Is this at the apps or the product? So you can select it on the actually product level. That's where you manage everything. Now, coming back to the apps, we have, of course, these chats for the actual customer service. You can actually activate those. The winner coupons, which is pretty much similar to this right here. So I always recommend to use only one of these, by the way. You don't want to bombard your visitors with different pop-ups and different offers, because that will create customer fatigue. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you give them one option, play the luck, and if they get something, they get something, and that will be more than enough for them to have and to try to experience your store. And of course, MailChimp integration. We talked about that. Taxier is just for taxes. You need to actually create an account with them. Rontar is actually it's an ad company, which is still functioning, but I am not 100% sure of the functionality being active. Uh, Only for one reason, I haven't tried it. But let me just try to do something here. If it I believe it requires to have an account with Rontar, which is another service. I believe it does. Let me just check. Rontar.com, I believe. Yep, it actually just it is just think of it as another advertising avenue that you can actually use, uh, and you can just get it connected. So you get an ID, a product feed ID, and audience. You actually get to create a feed from your products, and Rontar will actually display it in their network. Think of it of like Google AdWords, but with your products. But as I said, we're probably gonna do a full training on this one as we do the next challenge. I'm gonna just do a full day with very specific integrations, and we do this or pretty much the the balance that we use to do these trainings is depending on how many tickets or how many questions we receive about a certain app. And maybe because a lot of people don't know about the Runter integration, we haven't received a lot. So this is a great opportunity for, if you're interested in advertising in other venues other than Facebook or maybe Instagram or other social networks, you can take a look at Runter. Just take a look of and see if it's something valuable or that you can use and brings value to your proposition to your customers. If it's something that you might want to probably invest and address that. And moving along, so let's take a look at what other ones. We're going to talk about Facebook business today because this is important, and also the Facebook product feeds. So, but let me just bring my presentation and see what's next. So we have the apps. You can experience all the lists. Now, Google Analytics. I mean, Analytics, I think, is the best thing ever for any e-commerce expert out there. Simply because every single interaction in e-commerce needs one thing. And I'm going to have a question in this moment, and whoever knows the answer, please type it up. What is the basis of Google Analytics? What is the base? What is this the sense of Google Analytics? If anybody knows, type your answer. Why is the reason? What is the base of Google Analytics? And let's see how many answers we get. You can put it in the comments. Don't be afraid. Anybody? David, do we have any answers yet?
They're just coming in now. So Francis said keywords.
Almost.
Facebook user
Measure your results.
says
Almost.
to know your audience, to measure
Show
your
stats with your
results,
accents.
traffic.
Perfect. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Francis. Traffic, correct. All of those answers are close, but not correct. Keyword ranking, maybe, but what makes Google Analytics is the data, the actual data that you gather at any moment. This is why it's so important. And a lot of people in e-commerce, they are just focusing on driving traffic and just doing advertising and just doing all these crazy things. But nobody's looking at the big picture. And we should take a look at the big picture. How do we scale our businesses later? And somebody just says data. That's correct. Data. But in order to get those keywords, that conversion, that traffic, you need to look at your data. Otherwise, how are you going to make decisions? You need to make sure that your store, from the beginning, from the very moment that you open your store, the Google Analytics is connected. Why? Simply because it will provide you the necessary data to make decisions. And that in reality is what you need. You need a base in order to make decisions. And those decisions should be made based on the data. That's why earlier I mentioned we shouldn't be making decisions about our gut feelings. Like, you know what? I believe in my heart that this store, if we put it this way, is going to bring me this many visitors. Or, yeah, my friend told me to do this, and that's going to for sure give me these many visitors. Never do that. Anything in e commerce should never be done by a gut instinct. You should always relate on data. And the best way to relate on data is making sure that you have something like Google Analytics. Why? Because you can tell a lot by connecting analytics. So now let's just go ahead and connect the store. I believe since I'm working with Donna's store today and she's not here with us, I am going to use another store for a second, which I believe is already connected and you'll know it. It's my old store, Tijuana. Let me just log in really quickly so I can show you my analytics in just a moment and also the process of getting it connected. Give me just 1 second. And as I do that, David, are we having just a couple of questions in the meantime while I get into the other store?
We had. So Eldon was asking, where do you go for Google Analytics? So this was Eldon in the apps. So
Awesome.
once you go into the apps, there you will see an app for your Google Analytics where you can hook it up. This is the screenshot that John is sharing now. There
Yeah,
were
and
a couple of other questions. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, actually, David, that is in the settings, and I'll show you the main difference of the two areas. This is the easiest route, and I'll show you in a second once I get to the other store. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Because we have two ways to actually connect to the analytics, and the best and simplest way for all our users is actually within the settings. And I'm about to get connected here, so let me bring it back here. Oop, not wrong window. Sorry about that. Let's just bring this window up here, and it's pretty much the same, but it's going to be my store now. I just go to settings, guys. In order to connect the Google Analytics, let's go to settings first. So in settings, you're going to have all of your analytics connections right here, which says pixels, feeds, and embed codes. Once you click that link, you're going to open the very next page and you will see all the options. And I believe that Tijuana is already connected with my pixel IDs and also my uh, tracking number, as you can see here. So how do we connect to analytics? So I already have my analytics ID, but I'm going to show you anyways, so you will understand the process. Uh, and what we're going to do here is enable it, and then we're going to get this number. Where do we get this number? We get it from Google. And let me switch accounts here. Again, I'm in incognito, so let's just go to analyticsgoogle.com. And I believe it's going to ask me to log in with my appropriate account. I believe for this one, I use my personal email. Oh, give me just 1 second because I forgot. This is one of the coolest parts about Google. They secured everything that you do. So give me 1 second. Yeah, this is me, so I can log in. Right now, it is allowing me to go into my account, and we're going to locate where to actually add or analytics ID into our Groovekart. And yep, this is my internet, guys. As you can see, it's not really anything else but my internet today. Even my analytics window is taking a little longer than I kind of expected. And I hope that I can actually log in on this, which since I'm using my, okay, it is coming up. And for some reason it's not connecting. Let me try to do it from another window that is not incognito. And I have to switch the account. One moment. Oh, is it reading? I believe he's reading, but it's really slow today. Well, let me just change my account to the correct account so I can show you on the settings. We're talking about Tijuana, which is this account. And the ID is 571-1. Let me just verify that is the right one. Perfect. So where do we get this? One thing about Google Analytics, guys, it is complex in a sense of you get a lot of data, but navigating it can be just cumbersome and can be scary. Don't be afraid. Google does not eat people, especially Google Analytics. They made it so powerful that you get a lot of options to find all the data that you need. So let's get started with how do you add an account with Google Analytics. So once you go in here, the first thing that you're going to see is a screen just like this. This is actually a sample account, by the way. This is not something that they actually offer for you when you log in. You can actually upload an account or activate an account. This is just a sample account. You see google.com. And where you go here is actually you go to all accounts and you actually take a look at your analytics. You can select one. Let me just go in here and actually add here an account. You go to the admin. In the admin, you'll have the option to create an account. So remember, I'm using an account that has several other accounts, so you can just create one. You create the account and you provide all the information. This is the account name. It will be, let's say, Donna Fox Art. And of course, I'm not going to complete the process because it might require a step to certify that this is my account. And unfortunately, I don't have the access code. But this is pretty much how you get connected. So you have the account name. Then it's going to ask you to authorize Google to connect to the site or to whatever it might need. So let me just Donna Fox Art. You're going to click next. And this is where a lot of people unfortunately get confused. What am I measuring? Am I measuring only web data or app data or apps and web? Since most of us don't have an app yet that drives traffic to our stores, we only have a website. So let's always select web. That's the easiest way to do it. So web, and you click next. Then Google is going to ask you, which site you want to track this information from. So we're gonna give them the site. So let's just do donnafoxart.com. You can just copy that, then paste it again. Remove the www if you don't need it. And then, of course, the industry or the category is actually retail or let's see, business and industrial market, no. Computers, no. Finance, no. Food and drink, not games. Maybe, do we have any decorations? Maybe some, let's just put shopping. So we're going to create that. So once you create, it's going to create a new account. And it's going to ask you, of course, if you allow Google to do certain things, connect to your store, make sure that you can get that store verified. And once you create the account, it's going to give you the tracking code. And before, if you had a store and you wanted to connect, you have to do it via code. So you have to click all this stuff and copy it. Now it's just a matter of copying your code, the code that is given you here in the store. I mean, here in Google Analytics. Copy these little numbers right here and pasting them into your Groovekart where it says Google Analytics. You just drop that code in there and voila, you click save, and that will give you immediately the information in your Google Analytics for that account. So since I already connected it, I'm not going to create it because I already created it, of course, and I have it in here. But I'm going to go to my account and I'm going to take a look at Tijuana to see how the data is displaying. So in here, you go to Analytics, you select your account, you make sure that this is your right code, and you go to the all site data. Then what it will happen is you can click home and it will take you to this screen that we were at the beginning. But this time is reading the information only from Tijuana. Have in mind, I'm not getting a lot of traffic because the store is inactive and I'm still working on my designs. However, just to test that it actually is working, if David, can you do me a favor? Can you just go to tijuana.com, and anybody that is at home right now, just try to test it and go to tijuana.com and see if I can check what visitors am I getting and where they are from. So let me know, and so I can make sure. So I'm going to take a look at the overview here. I got 0 visits at the moment. So David, let me know if anybody is right now going to tijuana.com and make sure that we can
So I
see
loaded
where they're
in
coming from.
tijuana.com. It is coming this oops website is under construction page, but it is loading it in. So yeah.
Perfect. It is loading the store and is perfect because that is exactly what I want you to do. This is important because if your store is disabled, you're not going to get the actual readings. So I'm going to go here to my Groovekart really quickly. I am going to activate it at the speed of lightning so we can actually start seeing if the connection actually is working. As I said, I've been working in my store. I got a couple of products, so I was trying to get it done. But unfortunately, we're being quite busy at the desk lately. But that's pretty much how you connect it. All that you have to do is create the account and then drop the code here under the analytics ID, and you're all set. Don't forget to click save, and then Google will start providing you the right data and the right visitors, where your visitors coming from. So my internet is suffering today. Is it loading fine on your end, David?
Yeah, everything seems fine here.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I apologize for the delay. For some reason, lately, for the past 2 3 months, haven't been really incredibly happy with my internet provider. and not even Google is loading as fast as it should. Let me take a look here for a second. Okay, so let me, we already did this, so let me just see why it's not. Okay, now let me just go here to the settings and go back here to my store and activate. Oh, go to timeout, of course. Since my connection is really sucky today, I have a situation here. Let me take a look at Donna's store for a second, make sure that it's not. Yeah, it's definitely my internet connection today. Let me just active my store and let's just take a look at it. Now I just enable it. Tijuana.com. Let me also do a little test here in my cell phone. Make sure that everything is loading now. Okay. Now I believe, David, can you take a look to see if now you can see the store? Okay. You see, guys, what happened just now?
I am loading it in, but it is extremely slow loading in. So it is just loading, but doesn't show us anything at this
Yeah,
moment.
because remember, I just reactivated the store, so it's loading everything for you guys. Just gonna open it, but that was what happening. I disable it, so if it's disabled, it will not read your visitors. Remember that. And I can definitely appreciate if somebody in the audience could actually just take a look at it, see if we can load uh, Tijuana.com and make sure that it's reading, because I just checked and it is reading the visits, because that's what I wanted to show you guys, that it does read the visits using that simple little piece of code. But not even my analytics are actually loading fast. Now the card uploaded normally, let's see. Yep, it is loading normal. Because I have disabled all my pages as I'm working in a couple of features that are going to be future features on our Groovekart here. And let me see. David, did it load for you or not yet?
It is still turning around. It is still loading it in. It is not happy with this website loading time. Basically, it is just still running. What I maybe suggest is to go on to answer some other
Yeah,
questions.
let's do
Maybe.
it. Let's just, well,
Yeah.
it does load, but you see here, it loading my end, and I see that right now somebody from the United States is an active user, and if I click in the United States, that will probably show myself right here. So this is part of the capabilities that you have with analytics. If you're tracking your visits, you will know in real time where are people from and how they're actually just coming to visit you, what city they are. So this is what kind of validates the point that I was making earlier, that all this information is being recorded, of course, by Google, and you guys have the ability to then make decisions based on that data. So let's see if your users are coming from specific cities. If you're planning to do a Facebook advertising or a Facebook ad, you know what cities to target, because you know that the most of your users are coming from a specific place. Or maybe doing different traffic sources. So if it's directly or if it's just from social media. Oh, now right now we have more people. Let me just. Oh, this is kind of cool. So let's take a look real time now. Is reading everything. So give me a second.
Yeah, so now it loaded it. Now it's a coming soon page, the one that you were showing me
Yep.
how to do a
Yeah, right
form
now.
on it.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
as I said, I'm playing with a couple of things, and this is something that I'm gonna show. But in the future, we're gonna have the ability to change languages. So I was testing that with Groovekart. So this is part of still a secret, but I kind of let the cat out of the bag. Groovekart, we're gonna have a couple of different languages very very soon. So as you can see in the analytics I see here, and we have a lot of people from the US. We have Visalia, we have Poway, we have Springfield, and we have Hollywood. Two active users. I wonder what they are. Oh, it's actually somebody in a mobile device and a desktop. Again, validating what I just said. You need to also differentiate where you want to do your advertising. How is my people coming into my store? Is it coming from a mobile device or from a desktop device? So if you're doing advertising in Facebook, is it worth for you to spend extra money to have the feed of products in a mobile setting, so you can actually just have all those people looking at your products? So this is why is important to do this. Make sure that you connect your analytics. So you saw it's very simple. It's just one step. Create the account, grab that code, put it in the store and load. And of course, you will get to see all this data. And again, data should be the main point that you focus on in order to get any single decision making ability for your store. So let me just take a look, see if anybody else. And David, you are, did it load for you, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It is
And
loaded
you are
in.
in incognito mode, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So if it load, awesome. So right now it's only just two people. I guess everybody else close it out. But you guys got my point. Data, making decision, just connecting. So that is how you get to track all that information and how you connect the analytics to your account. Very simple. I'm gonna just go at it again. You go into your pixels, feeds, embed codes, also to your analytics account, and you just create an account from your admin, and you just fill the blanks, and you'll be able to do that. Now, moving along, because I know right now is 6:40 something, we're gonna go to staff accounts. This is another very important part of Groovekart. Why? A lot of us that have stores will need some help at some point, and we don't want to give our passwords. So the staff accounts are actually designed to do that, to give the ability to your staff to control the store in a way that is safe for you not to share some information. So I'm going to go back to Donna's store here. Let me close mine, and I have a little hint of why my store is loading the way that it loaded. But I'll talk to Dev about it because we're testing a bunch of stuff with that as well. So we're gonna go back to Donna Store. We are here. So let me show you where you need to create your staff account. You're gonna go to your settings, staff accounts, and once you go to the staff accounts, you can see here that is ask you had a new employee. You just click on that button, and again, why do we create a staff account? Because I might have a VA that is helping me out to process the orders. I might have somebody in my office or in my company that is helping me out to do the advertising copy or the product copy for my products. You can have as many people as you want on the affiliate on the staff accounts, so you have some control of the people that are helping you. So I'm just gonna have my son's name here, Sebas. The last name is Garcia. Email address. I'm just gonna put an email address here, and then you generate the password. So it could be whatever password. I'm gonna put S2020. Of course, it's gonna be hidden. Just copy paste. Then the language, of course, you can see we're testing a lot of stuff. So make sure that it's active. Language is English, and permission profile. This is the most important part under the actual staff accounts. What kind of permission you're going to give to that person. So virtual assistant just to process the orders, virtual assistant to customer support, virtual assistant to product only or store admin. Usually, if you have somebody else that is processing your orders, you just select VA orders. This person will only have access to that. to the orders, to take a look at the orders that process, if there's any cancellation, if there's any refund, if there's anything that interacts with the orders. That's what it means. Also, customer support, they will have actually only access to your page where you have your contact us form, and they can interact with the customers. Also, you get a notification right here under your support or your notifications. And of course, the product only. That means only for product editors. This is a great setting for anybody that is creating or changing content for your products. So it's on the product only and only for the products. So have that in mind. And of course, the last one is a store admin. This will give the right to every single person that has control on this account to control their store completely. So they will be able to take or look at orders, pricing, products. There will be pretty much another store admin. So use that with caution just to make sure that you protect yourself when hiring a third party service or a virtual assistant so you can give them the access that you might need without losing that security and limitations ability. But that's pretty much in a nutshell. This is one of the simplest process. Fill out the first name, last name, email address, create the password, the English, and store admin. So you can do that just once you click save. That store will be created automatically, and now that person, that employee, can actually log in with that address. And let's see, it's telling me that it creates the okay, and this is the login. You see, it says that it created already one. Maybe I did create one with that address. Let me just reconfirm. I guess I might have using probably in as an example somewhere else. But that's how you create the stores. Now, let's just move along and give me just 1 second while I just check back with the presentation. And this one is also very important. And this is very actually simple to create. I will talk about the creation of the Facebook pixel and the Google product, not the pixel, but the feed. And then later, we're going to talk about the pixel because I know that there's a couple of questions about the pixels. Uh, David, before I start, do we have a lot of questions because we haven't really done a lot of stops? So, do we
So
have a
far
couple of
we
questions that we
had
can
only
probably
a
address?
couple of questions. So far we had only a couple of questions, but I told the people that we will be mentioning them at the end in the Q&A session. So for now
Oh,
there's not
perfect.
much going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually see it here in the private chat. I have 3 questions, but along the way, we
Yep.
can probably just do more, no problem. So let's go back and let's just try to go over the Facebook and Google product feeds because this is another venue that we definitely need to explore as an e-commerce owners that will help us to promote our products, to put our products out there. So we're gonna go back to the same page, pixel feeds and embed codes. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, one of the simplest process because once you have done everything, and this is very important, guys, this should be one of the last steps that you create in your creation process. And no pun intended, you create the creation. This is this should be the last step once you're done with all your products. The reason why is because this is where all your products are listed and added into Facebook or Google. So, how do we do this? We create something called the Facebook product feed and the Google merchant feed. So, to activate this, all that you do is click here and the system will start working and creating pretty much all the magic behind. And it's going to ask you a couple of questions. Allow certain codes is going to activate it. It activated it right now. And did you guys notice that Donut Fox is actually working really fast compared to mine? Is because mine is being tested with new features as we go along with the process. now that I just realized that that might be the problem. But right now, here is your Facebook feed. So this is the link of your products. As you notice, as soon as I enabled this, this little link came out. And what does this link means? Is actually the way that the products are presented. And let me just try to save it here. Give me 1 second. Let me go here to the desktop and download it for you for a second so you can take a look at the link. It is just a series of codes that reference the product that Donna has in her store in this case, or you have in your stores. So, but this feed right here connects also to Facebook, and that's where you need your Facebook catalog ID, which I will go in a second. In the meantime, let me just open my Facebook account where I have used before my feeds. So give me just 1 second. Let me see if it's showing here. Give me 30 seconds. And my computer also is not really being helpful today. So what it will happen now is I am going to log into my Facebook, but I got a series of products here all opening at the same time for some reason. Let me just cancel a couple of them. And I cannot get rid of this little squarey thing on my system. David, my computer might have stopped for some reason. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, everything is okay on my end. Yeah.
My computer might have froze. Are you there, David?
Yeah, sure. So we can hear you still clicking. We can see your mouse there. This happens, guys, when you're working with technology. Sometimes your computer cannot handle it anymore. I think
Oh,
he. So while we're waiting, I would like to maybe answer a question or two. So there was a question from Chris Newton who is asking, can I use Groovekart and all Groovekart features on my existing Shopify store? So Shopify and Groovekart are competitor platforms. So unfortunately, it is not working like that. Shopify does the very similar thing as Groovekart is doing, so that is not possible to use them together. So the answer is no,
David, can you hear
unfortunately.
me now?
I can hear you, John. Yes. Is everything okay on your end? Okay. I guess John is not hearing me now, and John left. So yeah, let me just answer the other questions here. Um, Eldon is asking, if you did it with just one or two products, can you update that Facebook pixel and Facebook feed? Yes, you can. So the Facebook pixel is just a code that you need to take from Facebook and pop it into Groovekart so that it keeps tracking your website. And then a Facebook feed is just a list of your products that you have on your website that will be loaded into Facebook so that Facebook can actually load in the images and the information on there and then connect it with your Facebook page. So it is just connecting your store over to Facebook. It is not transferring over the products to Facebook. So this is just a communication between Facebook and your website. So Tunchi El Chapo, can we go over payment testing? I'm not quite sure what payment testing you are talking about, but at this moment we are still setting up our store. We we will not be going over the testing of the payment in this video today. Okay, Grace Hopkins saying my homepage does not look the same as my website page. So I'm not quite sure what do you mean by this one. Um, if you already set up the homepage on your website, the website pages, do you mean about page, contact us pages? They are looking different, or what is the question, Grace? I'm not quite sure I understand it fully. Let me see. There was a couple of other questions on here. Would Groovekart be able to handle over 10K products? If so, would Groovekart be able to update stock daily via FTP.file? That one, I'm not quite sure. I know that you can upload as many products as you want. The thing is that we don't have an import feature at this moment. You cannot import your products using a CSV file. This is not available yet in Groovekart. So this was a question from Christine last time on our last Groovekart training, and John answered using the answer that unfortunately at this moment is not available. It may be available. It was a feature request on the Groovekart feature request site. So you can go over there and vote on it so that it gets done quicker basically. But if you can update the stock via daily FTP file, I'm not quite sure about this one. We will need to wait for John to come back. I think he just restarted his computer because he just went out from this streaming session, and I think he's coming back now. So Tunchi is asking, would we be going over the free plus shipping methods? I will let John know about this one, and we will have a look once he comes back. So Eldon is saying he may be saying Groove pages and Groovekart with tow pages be the same. No, they are different. I'm not quite sure, Eldon. You're probably
Uh,
answering to somebody else. Oh,
guys,
John is here.
oh yeah, sorry about that. I mean, the worst fear that I've had is my computer finally just saying, "Hey, stop." I needed a break, and I guess that happened just now, guys. And I'm so sorry. My computer just shut down and had to reset. Let me gather my uh, all the stuff that I had open. I just had to reset the computer. So sorry about that. Let me just share my screen so we can go back to normal for a second here. Uh, I just noticed that I was speaking to myself because I couldn't really hear any feedback or anything. I was surprised that that happened. But thanks, David,
Yeah,
for
no worries. I was just answering a couple of questions here. I'm pretty sure you would have been able to answer it in more details. But for everybody's question that I didn't get to, I will copy it over to John in a private chat over here on my end, and then John will be answering those in the Q&A session at the end of this live
perfect.
stream.
Great. Yes, we're gonna be doing that. And of course, guys, I'm so sorry that that happened. We're gonna extend the actual live today, maybe 10, 15 minutes, as we can just come back from this little mishap. And I noticed when I couldn't get rid of my really spinning wheel of colors, uh, it just completely crashed it for some reason, and that's rare. But I guess I haven't turned off the computer like in 20 days. I haven't. It kind of took his toll right now. But okay, so where were we when I was shut down? Let me take a look at the presentation once again. And if I'm correct, we were talking about the actual feeds from uh, Facebook and uh, Google Feeds. Give me just one second. Let me go to that page. And of course, my computer should be working now normally, but let's just make sure that everything loads properly. Hopefully, it will not happen again. as I just reset it. So hopefully it will behave this time. Let me take a look at this, and we're gonna go to pixels, feeds, and embedded codes, and I'll show you guys where they where you can get them. Now let me connect to, hopefully not opening a lot of windows will not affect the performance, but I need to feed Facebook so I can show you guys where to connect that link on your Facebook for your pages. So it will be in your Facebook, but it will be here on your page. So I'm trying to find my page here. And I am really afraid that this will happen again, but if it happens again, I'll be back. So let me go to my, um, not here, Ads Manager, right here, right here, right here, Ads Manager. So guys, you have to control your Facebook feed from your Ads Manager. It's gonna, of course, load in. And if you are new to this world of the ads in Facebook and all these opportunities that Facebook offers us to put our products from our stores and all this craziness, so you can go from an ads manager. And I see definitely it's my computer as well because this is supposed to load ultra fast. Give me just one moment while I open up the right place here so we can show you guys what needs to be done. Uh, then on your ads manager, you have something called Commerce Manager. So in the Commerce Manager and as well as the Catalog Manager, that's where you're gonna drop that link for your feed. So I'm just went to my Catalog Manager because you're required to create a catalog within Facebook, and that catalog is upon predication of your products. So give me just 1 second so I can show you guys. But again, I just realized that it was definitely my my internet plus my computer that is not really helping a lot today. It's awfully slow. But so you guys have to go to your catalog manager, and with this information, with the with the Facebook feed that you get, which is this link right here, you can just copy this link and go to your catalog manager, and then you see your data source is your feed. You go to your catalog manager, your feed, and you can see your products. I believe it should be zero. I don't have a lot of products. Of course, I don't have any products here, but you can actually just add your data sources right here that identify from your feed. And I know I'm just going over using Facebook, but I'll show you guys a place that you can get more information on how to do this in Facebook. So you edit your data sources, and as you can see here, it says a data feed, and right here is the latest link that I have. So since I have no products, it's gonna tell me, hey, there's a problem with your sessions because I have no products. You have nothing to offer us. So you can actually edit that by going into the settings and changing the actual feed. So how do you do that? You just resume or you just edit your link. You see right here what says URL, and it says the feed, marketing, growth, feeds, Facebook. So it's the same like this one right here. But again, we're using Donna Fox's store, but just for the example, this is the feed that you need to copy under your catalog manager, under your data sources in the URL. And let's say if you add products weekly. So you want to make sure that if you add products weekly in your store, you have this setting change so you can have this in hourly, daily, or weekly. So if you only changes products on, let's say, every week on Fridays, you can have this same feed be reread all the time by Facebook every week, every Friday. Maybe I just put 519, but let's just put any time that you want. So it will reread that specific feed with the new products. Have in mind that sometimes, depending on the amount of products that you have, you might want to regenerate the feed. So this is the most important step. Every Friday, if you add more products, you click generate the feed. Once you click generate feed, it's not going to change this at all, but it will include any products that you have added to your store during that week or during that day. I mean, you have the flexibility to add the products, add the feed at any given time. Just make sure that you generate the feed, and once you have the feed generated, copy this link and drop it in your catalog manager. In the catalog manager, what it does is if you have your page connected to Facebook, it will actually show your entire catalog in your Facebook page. Since I don't have any products, of course, it's not going to show anything. And I promise we're going to do a Facebook advertising and Facebook feed sometime next month, since it's the summer and we want to make sure that a lot of the stores are ready to start working with the advertising. So I'm going to put it in my notes to make sure that we do a full hour or maybe 2 sessions with Facebook catalog management. It's a lot of information, and I know that to cover it just to show one part of it, it will be a complete understatement. But in the meantime, while I do that, I'm gonna share with you a resource that I discovered recently, which is the Facebook Blueprint. I believe Facebook Blueprint. If you go to Facebook Blueprint, this is the area in Facebook that they will provide you a lot of information about Facebook. Not only what it does or how to do certain things, but it will show you real cases in how you can actually improve your Facebook pages. For example, getting started with advertising, getting started with advanced buying options, meaning for your companies if you want to buy ads, targeting the right audience in Facebook, building awareness, generating leads. And they do have these are small courses of 15-20 minutes that you can take a look at and combine it with your, of course, with your store, increasing your online sales, ads, drive, and they offer a bunch of stuff, especially when connecting their stores with third parties like ourselves, like Groovekart. So go to facebookblueprint.com. I am gonna copy. I'm gonna ask David if he can. Actually, I can probably post it here in the comments, I believe. Let me see if that will work for me and see if everybody can see that. So if you will see that, that'll be great. But just take a look, spend a couple of minutes in one of the courses and experience it for yourself because it's a good source for what we're doing here. So, but this is how you connect your store to your catalog in Facebook. So this is one of the big functionalities that we hope that you're going to use a lot, and that is going to bring a lot of new leads and a lot of sales for your stores. And as I said, I'm going to dedicate a full day on this topic within the next probably 2-3 weeks because we have still one day more of the class, and then the next week we're going to present the winners actually of the contest. Because what is going to happen next week is we're going to start selecting the stores that are completed that have been following the process with us. So it's a dual process, not only the actual essays that we're actually uh, evaluating right now, but also the stores that will be evaluated next week. We're gonna start next week because we're gonna pretty much complete the course by next week. So we're gonna give an extra week, and then we're gonna start selecting the winners. So guys, let me just go back to my PowerPoint here and open it up again. Thank you so much for your patience. I know these things happen. We're live, and it wouldn't be my style if for some odd reason something will not load properly at some point. But I am here and it seems to be working fine. So let me just make sure that, oh, of course, it wasn't about to go the regular way. So we have staff accounts, we have Facebook and Google product feed. So now let me just go really quickly with the Google product feed. And it's pretty much almost the identical as far as of the explanation. Right now, what we have here is the same process. You click here to create that feed, and it will give you a very similar link. Just the connection is a little bit different. Again, we have to connect it with your AdWords account or your Google Merchant account. A lot of people say, oh, but do I have to pay for that to happen? No, all of those sources are actually free for you. The only way that you start paying for your Google feed or your Google Merchant feed is if you actually decide to do ads with that feed. So let me just show you guys here. So Google, I believe it's Google Merchant account or Google Marketplace. Yeah, I believe it's oh, that's not merchants. Give me 1 second. Google Merchants. Let me see what is the link that I should. Google for retail. I believe it's right here. And let me just sign in using my account. Oh, it's actually merchants.google, not just merchant. Let me see what account. Well, this is not the account that I wanted to have because I already have an old account that I wanted to show you guys. So give me 1 second and I can sign in with the right email. Sign into the Merchant Center. Let me use this account. So we can go to, oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Third one's the charm. All right, it's now loading the Merchants Center in Google. You can create, as you saw, it's just a free simple account. And it's definitely my computer really going slow. And here is where you connect your feed right here in your settings, or you can see your products. I believe in products, I don't have anything here in this account. So you see add products, individual product, or multiple products. You can create a product feed. So you go to your Google Merchant Center, you go to your products, and then you click create product feed. It's going to ask very specific questions on the settings for your website, and just make sure that you actually do that. So country is United States. I'm going to select English. I'm going to continue. And then here is what the feed will look like. Is it from Google Sheets, or is it a schedule fetch, upload, or content API? So you're going to say schedule fetch. Then you're going to click off. I'm going to just name here this Tijuana. I'm going to click continue. And then the file name. I believe last time I checked that we can select the file right here. Same thing, just make sure that you do the Google Merchant feed. Copy that link. And then I believe that you can do that. And let's just see if the feed can be created. Oh, file URL gonna be, let's see. And of course, it's gonna give me some errors because I'm using a different account. I'm not using Tijuana, I'm using Donna's account. But it will give me the results of the feed. It's going to analyze it and read it. So it will do the same thing in your case. So let's see what product was it able to fetch. It will take a while, by the way, depending on the amount of products. It will take a while, and also it might require a approval the first time. So this is important. It's important for two reasons: that Google will definitely take a look at your products with a microscope, and also it will tell you. See, it says no products because of course we don't have anything tied to this. Let me see. Got it. And product data can take 30 minutes to update. This is the most important part right here. So once you do this, if you do it correctly, it will show you this. Product data can take up to 30 minutes. If it's not connecting right, if the link is not working, it will let it know. It will let you know immediately. But within the next half hour, this will be populated with probably 2 or 3 products that actually we have from Donna's store. And what it will happen is Google will tell us, yes, this product is right, and it's ready to go into the Google Merchant Center. What is the Merchant Center? The Merchant Center allows you to do this. Let's say we're looking for t-shirts. So once I go to Google for t-shirts, it's going to give me all the options. So here is where your ads will appear. Once you have your feed created, let's say you want to run an ad that says, hey, I have a t-shirt that is designed and it will be in here. And I'm using the categories as a t-shirt because that's what Tijuana will be doing. I'm going to be adding the ads and my feed. So all these products are just feeds from different markets and from different companies. So a lot of people will say, yes, but any keyword is already saturated. How do I make sure that my feed is actually there? By following Google guidelines. So it's always important that we make sure that every single product is well listed. You have your full descriptions, you have all the details, pricing, and everything else that Google might need in order to, of course, index your product normally. So that is another full session that we will have, but I just want to make sure that you have the gist of the initial portion of how to actually connect your merchant feed within from Google to your from your store to Google. I'm sorry. And that's how pretty much you do it. And I will love to wait the 30 minutes and show you guys, but I'll have something more next week. In the meantime, and I know we have a couple of more questions, so we can move forward. But that's how you actually just do the Google Merchant Center and the actual Facebook Catalog Manager. So that's how you connect it. We have discussed the two sources that where you add them, and they're both free. Just to add the actual links in both places, it does require a little bit of a learning curve. So just be aware of that. It looks simple. It is simple, but along the way, you're going to get lost. And that's where we're here to help you. So if you run into any issues, just always send us a support at groovdetail.com. We'll be able to use the tools and the best to our abilities to help you guys out. Now, let me just see what we have next in store here. Let's just go with the Q&A. Now, David, we do have more questions, I bet. We have 2, 3 questions. Karen asks, if I already have a website, can Groovekart be able to be an add-on e-commerce section to my domain? Of course. And now let me just do an example, Karen. So let me just go back here. And let me just move this to the center. So let's say you have a website. And let's say your website is, let me think of something that I might have active. David, any website that is active that doesn't have to do with Google or Facebook. Let me just see my old, the old company that I used to work for. No, let me just think of something else. this company. So let's say, of course, this is not as complex. Your site might be just a couple of pages, but you can have in your site something called the online store. So you can see here, it's a huge page. But let's say you want to have a furniture store in your page, connect to your product. So within your store, within your page, since you already have a website, you can create just a link to your store. So it could be, for example, let me see. This might have not been the best example, anyways, to pick, but let me see. Because this already have products and categories, so this could be already like the shopping store. But let me see one other company that might have one place that I can give you as an example. Let me take a look in my links here if I do have anything. Uh, cannot think of anything. I'm so stumped, guys. Give me a website, any website, quickly. Just one web. Even Karen, if you don't mind sharing your own website, it could be good. It could be just like a promo for you. So if you don't mind, show me your website. So it would be a cool example. So you can have, we can create the store, the link store. Not that we're gonna do it right away, but you can definitely just, if you don't mind sharing that, that'd be perfect. Yes, somebody says so good. Groovekart integrates with Wilmerson Center. Yep, that's right. So it does integrate. Okay, Karen, thank you so much. So we're gonna take a look at your site. Karen, HIRSCH.com. Did I type that right? Karen. Oh, Karen I Hirsch. HIRSCH.com. Okay, let's take a look. Karen Photography. Perfect. You have all your stuff here. Oh, awesome. Oh, I like that. Very simple, very clean. Love it. So let's say here you want to have your store. So you can create a link to your store. Let's say your store is karenhirsch.groovekart.com, right? So let's just use as as an example. Better yet, let's just done as an example. You can have your store name after you and then connect to Groovekart. So I'm going to use this link, and you can create any link here and just link the store. And then from your store, I'll click back to your page. Um, and I hope that that might have answered your question, but there's a couple of ways to do it. You can either use it as store.karenhirsch.com. That can be done. We can actually use a subdomain to connect to the account, not necessarily having to sacrifice your full domain for that. Or you can just connect in using the regular link from groovekart.com. A lot of people might not like to do that because, of course, it will be taken away from your site. But you can actually use, let's say, from here, you can use store.karenhirsch.com, which will be still within the realm of your domain. But you can connect it in several ways. So that can be done. For more details, just please send me an email at support.groovedigital.com, and I'll be more than glad to work with you on that and make sure that it gets done that way. Now let's go with the second question that we have. We have a couple of questions, and Karen, I hope that that might have answered your question. Grace Hopkins says, my homepage does not look the same as my website page. The products are not the same. I have much more on my website than I do on my homepage through visual. Now, Grace, same case. Let's just share your website if you don't mind so we can take a look at it and see how exactly we can probably guide you in order to make the right changes and make sure that both of your sites and your store are working, pretty much are working together, and make sure that you can maximize your store as well. So let me go back to the comments and see if we have that. The support email, I am typing it here in the chat. support at groovedigital.com. Yes, we are going over the GDPR because I know that there is part of that. Thank you for reminding me. I know we gone a little bit longer that we're supposed to. We're already at 1 hour and 40 minutes. But yes, I will cover the GDPR because it's just a matter of a click in our apps. But thank you so much for reminding me. Uh, Let me see because I think I've been here in your store, Grace. Old. Yep, I actually been there. So I know that you might have some more stuff in your site, and nice. So you can use that domain, and you have activated all that. Nice. So you're being famous because you activated your spin wheel. You have some products. Nice. So this is a nice site. Very clean. Very open. I love the fact that but probably we can work a little bit more on the slider and organizing a little bit more of the products. But hey, great job as far as to putting it out there and make sure that you follow with us. That's great. And so the products are not the same. I have much more on my website. So what will be the original website, if you don't mind? So it will be the same, just ye old apothecary store or shop. Let me just take a look. So let me just see that. So Grace, if you don't mind telling us your domain name, your main domain, or is this the one that you're using for your store? In the meantime, let me take a look at David mentioned that you have another couple of questions. David, do we have any more questions? I know there was one about the tag manager, if I'm correct.
Yes, so here in the private chat, the first three, as you can see, they were not answered yet.
Uh, Actually, in the private chat, I only have the one from Karen, the one from Grace. But if you can tell me, maybe because I came in late, or maybe because I cannot just.
Here we go. So I just copied it in for you.
Oh, are we going to talk about the free plus shipping? That's Untitled Chapter. I can probably cover it, yes. If you don't mind staying for another 10, 15 minutes, I'll be more than glad to do that. Would you be adding any other email providers? Yes, that is actually in the works for Groovekart. We are going to be adding, if I'm correct, two or three more. We're going to be adding way more actually options to do more stuff in the apps. But yeah, mail providers are going to be there as well as payment systems and languages. And Carlos Lopez, what about Tag Manager? I haven't really spoke about Tag Manager because I haven't really finished my certification on Tag Manager. Pretty much that's one of the lineups that I would like to work more because it's very useful and I know it can be used with Groovekart. But Carlos, I promise that I will have a class once I get everything completed on the management. I have used it very little, so I wouldn't even dare to venture on Google Tag Manager yet, because I want to make sure that I can provide the right information. But we will be touching that subject very soon because it's actually very good to have all of the functionality that the new, I should say, Google 360 offers, because Google actually is offering a great set of tools that we all can use. But analytics and Google AdSense and all of the other stuff, I am certified, but in Google Tag Manager, I haven't really complete the full training, so I wouldn't even venture to try to explore that yet. But I will try to do it very soon so we can get more information on the Tag Manager. Um, Now, as Grace, did Grace send us the comment? I mean, for her site. Let me see. New comments. Oh, great. Oh, yes. Your visual builder. Let me take a look at your visual builder. Let me see which version you're working on. So let me just do this. Let me just do it off camera here. Let me just bring it here for a second and see what we can do here. So we're doing. a support question live in our live today. So give me just one moment so I can answer the question for Grace. And it's loading kind of slowly, but it's loading. So let me bring it in here. So this is your store using your Groovekart. It's the version 2. And the way that you actually find your visual builder is right here in your apps and visual builder. And this is your store, the link that you just sent me. So it should be showing there. And there are multiple pictures for the same thing. So let's take a look. Depending on the products that you might have selected, it might probably show multiple pictures. So depending on the categories, let me just take a look at the pages here. Homepage, and see why it's looking a little bit different. So maybe because you have, okay, this is active. Let's see. And let me just take a look at something here because I do notice that you're correct. It looks a little bit different. So let me go back to the panel. And you do have the new version. And yes, these might need probably the second update. Yep, I see where your confusion is, Grace. So what I'm going to do is I am going to save this right now, and I'm going to make sure that you get all the right updates. Okay, so don't forget to send me an email so I can make sure that it gets updated. And thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. I appreciate it because we need to make sure that all of our customers are up to date in every single update. So for some reason, I don't know why you're not seeing that, but we're gonna make sure that we get it corrected. Uh, Now, Tammy also says my visual builder does not work when I put my store on hold. That is correct, Tammy. That is actually a bug that we discovered recently. Actually, shouldn't say bug, but it's just an undocumented feature that we're addressing. But that will be corrected as soon as possible. So while your store is on hold, you can actually address it. And somebody asked me about, are we going to talk about the free plus shipping? So don't let me forget about that one too. Um, yeah, Tammy, yes, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure that we correct that as soon as possible. And are we gonna talk about the free plus shipping? I believe we talked about it briefly last week, but to do the free plus shipping, let me go back to my store. Let me close all these windows here. I don't want my computer to kind of just die on me again. So what we will do is we're gonna go back to the store right here. We're gonna go to the settings, and we're gonna go to, actually it's in products, not in settings, but it should be in products for the discounts. Products, discounts, and on the free plus shipping, what you can do is create a coupon that you can use with free shipping for that, for a specific product. So if you have all of your store items are free plus shipping, you can use this, but you can just put free shipping, or you can actually just put shipping because it's the free item plus shipping cost. Then we're gonna just do this. We're gonna generate the code, and then we're gonna take the conditions. We're gonna just make sure that there's no minimum amounts, total available. Remember, always put a large number if you're running a promotion. Then we're gonna go to the actions. That will be offer free shipping. So if I am correct, if I'm understanding your question correctly, uh, is this will be a free shipping or a free product. Let me just read it again. And we're going to talk about free plus shipping. So the product will be free, and the shipping does what is not free. So my apologies, I misunderstood the question. So let me just go back to products, my products, and we do this from one specific product. So there's a couple of ways to do this. And hopefully it's not going to generate another meltdown in my system, but we're going to edit the product. And we're going to mark this product in pricing and variance. We're going to go here in the additional shipping fee. So what you do is pricing and variance. The price of the product will be here 0. Actually, price 0. And then your additional shipping fee, that's what you actually added. It could be, let's say, $5 or $9 or $7.99, or maybe the cost of the product plus maybe $1 or $2. So you can do that from there. That's actually the easiest way to do it, because that kind of validates that, hey, is the shipping is going to cost you $5, but the product is actually free. So that's where you actually do it. And I hope Tunchi El Chapo that can answer your question. Now, David, do we have any other questions, by the way?
So there is one from Per that I answered already today on this Q&A session and the Lemonade session, and he is asking, is there any automatic process to transfer my web shop from WordPress into Groovekart? What is the best way to transfer it? Here is my website. So at this moment, Per, there is no automatic way to transfer your WooCommerce shop into Groovekart. There is one to transfer and migrate your shop from Shopify. However, for an automatic migration system from WooCommerce, this is not available yet.
Correct. Yes, we're looking at the other options that we're going to be able to work in the future. But remember, WordPress is a different animal all around. WordPress and WooCommerce, it's been around forever. They're a great platform. I have pride to say that I was part of a team that worked with WordPress many, many, many years ago in actually shaping the e-commerce landscape for that specific product. And let me just go to your website, anyways, to give you a couple of pointers that you can use to bring your store, your current store, to Groovekart. And it's actually in Sweden. So cool. So you sell, safe to assume you have products like this. So I understand that the biggest situation that we have with WordPress is the ability of manipulating our plugins, because WordPress pretty much talks about plugins. You can have a very similar experience with or new builder if you just have the same images. So you can have this in your header, maybe not as complex as it looks here, because you have 4 or 5 columns here, one large column here. We can explore all uh, the magic of CSS. If you probably can copy the CSS elements, maybe the styles, maybe certain things. So you can take advantage of that. But it's definitely doable. You can replicate to an extent. This is what I wanted to say. You can replicate as much details as you can using your Groovekart store, but it's not going to look the same. So it's not going to look 100% the same, because both platforms work different. You can gather some elements and make sure that you can make them your own and make it similar. But no, unfortunately, we don't have a function that will take a theme and put it back into the work into Groovekart, for example. We're going to have that for Groove Funnels at some point, and I do believe that it will support a lot of other platforms. But at this moment for Groovekart, unfortunately, we don't have that functionality. By the way, very cool site. I love the design, the simplicity of it, but it goes to the point. And so That's a kind of a free promo. So if you're in Swedish, or if you wanna in Sweden and you wanna buy some cool accessories, don't forget to go to cancela.com. All right. And yeah, a lot of people say WordPress is not that friendly. It's just, I believe that that is the reason why colors were created. We like our colors, like we like certain processes and products. So it has its own complexities, like Groovekart does, like Shopify does, like WooCommerce, like uh, 3D card, like many other cards that are out there. We're trying to simplify certain things. So, and again, we are still a very new company. We're working with our users, and I happen to lead that charge. I happen to receive all the feedback and the products, and I want this, I want that. So we do have a lot of requests in a monthly and a daily basis, but we have to make sure that we approach it in a way that we try to serve the purpose of a community of for everybody. So if you happen to have a request for Groovekart, you can always do that. Send us an email to support. We do have an area that once you send us the ticket, hey, where can I actually recommend a feature for Groovekart? We will send you to a link. I don't have the link out of the top of my head, but that is available for you. Now, David, any other questions? Right now it's close to 8 o'clock. We actually passed for half an hour, but due to the little technical difficulties that we had.
So far, everything was set. Everything was answered. You may want to just have a look at the private chat just to make sure
Yes.
everything is covered.
Yeah, actually, yep. We want to wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Eldon. Eldon has been following us since we started the class. So, Eldon, from everybody here at Groovekart and Groove Cell and Groove Funnels, from all the teams here at Groove Digital, we want to wish you a very happy and belated birthday. Now, guys, with that happy note, unfortunately, like every single good thing has to come, is coming to an end. We kind of extended. It is probably the first or the second time that we extended this long. I apologize. My computer decided to take a break in the middle of of the actual live. So thank you for the patience. I gotta do thank David for the help and holding the fort for those 3.5 4 minutes there that I had to reload my computer. But I want to thank you especially for being with us today, getting all the stores online, and don't forget to vote. I'm going to open right now the actual link before I go, so you can take a look. And we actually did share it earlier, but I want to just see if we can share a couple of the new. Let me see where is the link. I just copied it 30 seconds ago. Let me see if I can find it. But go there, take a look at the actual essays, read them, and cast your vote. Participate. It's always good to participate, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next one writing the actual article or the actual essay, and you can be uh, for the third or the fourth or the fifth session, because we're planning to do this every 8 weeks, with maybe a couple of weeks that people might want to follow us and do sort of different trainings in between, but everything is related to Groovekart. Don't forget also that we have trainings on Tuesdays with Mr. Tom Beal for Groove funnels and Groove pages. David, do you happen to have the link again? Because I think, oh, hold on, I think I just got it now. I believe it's right here. Yes, I do believe it's this one. Let me see. So this is the permalink for the actual essay. So it's gonna be activated for the next couple of days as well. So take a look at it in our group, and let's see how the actual votes are going. How the poll is going here. We have number 2 in the lead, number 1 second, number 4th, and number 3. I do not know who is 2, 1, 3, or 4, but whoever the winner may be, uh, that person will be working with me and Donna and David next in the next session for the training. So don't forget to cast your vote, guys. And again, thank you so much for being with us today. Is 8 o'clock. David, thank you very much. Don't forget to cast your vote, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one. David, Want to say bye? You kind of just I just saw you moving your mic, so I just want to wait for you to say goodbye.
Yeah, guys, I just turned on my mic. I was off. So thank you everybody for joining in here. I hope you learned a lot, and then see you next week in on the Mondays build there.
Awesome. All right, everybody, have a great week. Have a great 4th of July. If you happen to be in the United States or abroad, be proud, show your flag, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.